most proud of that I've done over the last 11 years is I've developed an innovative foreclosure mediation program. Has anyone here ever known anyone who's had financial difficulty? Anybody? Well, when I was elected, we were on the front lines of the foreclosure crisis, and I saw that there was a serious problem because a lot of people were not responding to these applications. So what I did is I developed a program that allowed people the opportunity to have a voice in the foreclosure process. Everybody who appears in my court has an opportunity to get a hearing in front of me. The notice that's sent to them is in English and Spanish. Now you may ask, why do I send it in English and Spanish? Well, guess what? The mortgage industry, when they decide to market to people on loans, they market to them in Spanish. But when they do their foreclosures, guess what they send the foreclosure notices in? English. And so I felt it wasn't fair for people not to have the opportunity to know that they're being foreclosed on. So we send them notices in English and in Spanish. If they show up to the hearing, we give them an opportunity to go to credit counselors who are bilingual. So they have an opportunity to get free credit counseling to learn about all the different options that are out there in saving their homes. The next thing we do is, if that doesn't work, we send them to a mediator, a bilingual mediator who will teach them all the different options and make the bank come all the way down from Delaware or Connecticut or wherever to come down to Texas to talk to them about their loan, to give them an opportunity to save their house. And as a result of this program, we have saved dozens and dozens of homes. The other thing that I'm really proud of is that I've worked on with a number of different judicial interns. I've actually had over 250 interns in the last 11 years. These are high school students, college students, law students, and students who are already graduated. And as a result of that, I've won a number of different awards for mentoring. And in fact, Commissioner Garcia sent me an intern last summer that I took and who did a wonderful job, Jeanette Trejo, who was truly one of the best interns I've ever had. Thank you, Commissioner Garcia. And it's something that I want to continue doing during my next term. Finally, I've been endorsed by Commissioner Garcia, representing Nieve, and every Hispanic group that's endorsed so far. I would truly, truly appreciate everybody here's support. This is an important election. It's the very first election on the ballot. I'm first on the ballot. It's the first contested judicial election on the ballot. I'm first on the ballot, and I'd appreciate your support. Thank you so much. We all have another event, and we're going to be leaving right after this, and I apologize we have to leave.
All right, thank you. All right, our next speaker is somebody we've known for a long time. She's going to grow up here in Oakland, and she was on the Dallas City Council and the Dallas Park Board. And the reason she's here is she's working with the Texas Can Academy, and she has been named as the 2018 Minority Business Leader honoree by the Dallas Business Journal. Let's give a big hand to Delia Hassel.
Thank you guys. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? This year I'm getting, in February, I'm getting the 2018 Minority Business Leader Awards from the Dallas Business Journal. They highlight minority business leaders in the area every year. And this year I was nominated by Texas Can Academy. I was on the board for 10 years and chairman of the board for 8 years. And I can tell you that from 85 to now, we've graduated over 22,000 folks who would not have otherwise graduated. Texas Can is a second chance academy. A lot of these kids have children already, or they have to work because of their home condition. And so I'm just very grateful to Texas Can, and thank you.
All right. Anybody grow up in Little Mexico? Yeah. Anybody remember Little Mexico? That was one of the first original Latino barrios here in Oak Cliff. It's really where Oakland is. And I grew up over there. It's pretty much gone after the North Dallas Tollway went there. And that meant all the houses and everybody that grew up in the area was pretty much displaced and removed. It's called gentrification. Okay? And right now we're seeing some of that gentrification happening in West Dallas with Cherry Groves, some of that gentrification happening in Oak Cliff around Bishop Parks. When I got here in 1983, the Fiesta supermarket across the street was an old Sears building that had been abandoned for several years. Most of Bishop Parks was boarded up warehouses. So we were able to get development, but now the development sort of gotten out of hand. And there's a gentleman here who's trying to do his own kind of guerrilla tactics to deal with that issue. So he has come up with a novel idea. It's called La Casita. His name is Giovanni Valderas. And, hold on a second. Giovanni is a native of Dallas. He's an artist and assistant gallery director at the Kirk Hopper Fine Arts in Deep Ellum. He currently serves on the Cultural Affairs Commission of the City of Dallas under Councilman Omar Navarez, and he was previously the gallery director at Mountain View College. Let's give a big hand to Giovanni Valderas.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you, Domingo, for allowing me to speak. Excuse me. My name is Giovanni Valderas. I am an artist, a father, an advocate, an educator, but most importantly, I'm the son of a fierce Latina mother from Guatemala. She raised me here in Oak Cliff, and while growing up in Oak Cliff, I saw a lot of changes, good and bad, but what I'm seeing here today troubles me. Because I'm seeing one community being sacrificed for another, and that doesn't sit well with me. So as an artist, I decided to create an outdoor art project called Casita Triste, which means sad little house, in response to the gentrification, displacement, and the lack of affordable housing our working class families are dealing with. So as you can see, these casitas are influenced by the brightly painted homes that you see in Latino communities, but they're also a visual voice to the voiceless, to the families that are being pushed out. So I place these casitas out into the neighborhood, usually in front of big developments that are being subsidized by the city to build housing that our community can't afford to live in. So this project is aimed at creating awareness, self-reflection, empathy, and empowerment through advocacy. And what I mean by advocacy is that each of these casitas, if you were to stumble across one, you'll find a little pocket on the side, and in this pocket you'll see a postcard. And it gives you the opportunity to advocate for affordable housing, but also to share your story. So all you gotta do is share your story, put a stamp, and send it to City Hall. It's addressed already to the mayor. And in closing, we're not luxury lifestyle renters. We're working class families. And it's time that we tell our city to start building housing we can actually afford to live in and stop subsidizing wealthy developers. Again, my name is Giovanni Valderas. Thank you so much for your time. If you would like a postcard, please let me know. Fill one out, and you can probably give it to Domingo, so he'll pay for the postage. I'm just kidding. Give it back to me, and I'll pay for the postage. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
So he's really modest. He's got a lot of attention. He's been in the newspaper, he's been on news. It's something very unique, really, in terms of getting the word out that what's going to happen to all these people that lose their houses, and let's say West Dallas, where the houses are $40,000 or $50,000. And then they get $50,000, where are they going to buy another house? Where are they going to move to? So you're making homeowners into renters, and you're moving out people that have been here for generations. I saw some hands up. Omar?
First, thank you for serving as my art and culture commissioner for the city of Dallas. I kind of a little biased, but I think I have the best one serving on the commission. Could you lift the house, the casita up so that the whole audience can see what these look like? Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Omar. And people have asked me, like, why do they look so sad? But they're designed that way so the general audience can draw, so that the pinatas can draw empathy from people. Because I think it's a lot easier sometimes that like a cartoonish character gains more empathy than actually a human being sometimes. So, but if they can be the voice for people that are being pushed out, I'm all for it. So, hopefully that's it. Oh, go ahead.
Over here.
Good morning again. Thank you very much.
Oh.
Albert, and then another.
Okay, I'll let that go first. First of all, Giovanni, gracias for what you're doing. For those of us who are more mature, is the word now, for those of us who are more mature, like Brian, you're doing something that we wish we would have done back in the 50s. Because if we go back, we look at what happened with Little Mexico. A lot of people didn't know where Little Mexico is. But exactly what's happening in West Dallas happened to us back then. As I look around, I see people like Ellie, several of us that grew up there in Little Mexico. So, viejo, gracias. Because we need to keep this up and let people, La Bajada, West Dallas, and go down Singleton. It's terrible. All the property being torn down now, and we're losing it. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
First, thank you for your activism. Secondly, I'd like to know a little bit more about how you're doing your campaign. Also, with the LULAC education centers, in LULAC we have a lot of youth councils that live, youth members that live in West Dallas with years and in Oak Cliff as well. And I'm wondering if you'd be available to come out and speak to them, to activate them about this issue as well.
Thank you for that. Most
Specifically
definitely.
February 17th, because we've got several things going on.
Okay. Most definitely. I'm more than happy to come out. It'd be great. So far, the response has been overwhelmingly positive from people. Like teachers that have invited me to their classrooms to talk about art, but also about this project and how art can be a catalyst for change. So I'm more than willing to come and talk to the students. And hey, I always need helpers because these things take a while. So thank you. Yeah.
All right. Yes, sir. All right, we have a couple of people in the audience today. Johnny Latino, he's a candidate for County Court Law, Criminal Appeal number 2. Judge Roberto Cañas is here, County Criminal Court is here. Judge Jennifer Bennett, 262. John Plagan is here for Texas. I'm not sure what you're running for. Phil McClarty, candidate for judge, 302nd District Court. Jeff Strader, SDC Committee Chairman, 23rd. Dallas ISD Trustee Audrey Pickerton from Oak Cliff. Joseph Lapice, Juan Hasso. Dallas City Council Member Omar Navides. Justice of Peace Sarah Martinez. Dallas County Commissioner Dr. Edwin Garcia. Kim Brown, candidate for the 68th District Court. Allison Gunther, candidate for Criminal District Court number 6. And Sheriff Brown, candidate for Sheriff Dallas County. Okay, if I missed you, just make sure you turn in your names to Delma, and if you're not on the list. Okay, we got room over here in the back. If you're looking, for those of y'all who are seated, and we welcome y'all here. Back in I'll tell you a little quick story to introduce our next speakers. Back in 1993, the valedictorian of Kingston High School in West Dallas was a woman, and she wanted to go to West Point, and she was appointed to go to West Point, and she went there. She was real proud of it. But when she got to West Point, they asked several documents from her. One of them was her birth certificate. When she called her mom about wanting her birth certificate, her mom had a secret. The family secret was that she was brought to the United States when she was 2 years old, and she was undocumented. As a result, her name was Olivia. Olivia had to come back from West Point to Dallas, and was not accepted at West Point because you have to be a U.S. citizen to go to West Point. And then she decided to go to Texas A&M. And then when she applied at A&M, she had to pay out-of-country tuition, which is about 3 times that. As a result of her case, I filed a bill that was called the in-state tuition bill in 2001. Me and Rick Noriega from Houston, who had another valedictorian who had a similar story, passed the first in-state tuition bill that allowed anybody who graduated from Texas high school to pay in-state tuition. That's the genesis of the Dreamers, which became the law of the land. Last week, or a couple of weeks ago now, Congress stopped for 3 days the government shutdown because they couldn't pass a bill to protect the DACA students, the Dreamers. We were glad to do our part to make sure that that movement continues for justice for the Dreamers and for comprehensive immigration reform. Today with us, we sent, I believe, 20 students that went down to Washington to lobby, protest, picket, to make sure their cause is not forgotten. So with us today, we have Dreamers that are pushing for a Clean Dream Act: Alejandra Garza, Alberto Garcia, Ivan Berman, Diana Quiñoz, and Delma Gorosiete. They were DACA students and Dreamers, and each one will tell a story of how they went to Washington, D.C.
LULAC, we were able to go to Washington and have sit-in meetings with senators and representatives and try to share our stories and put a face to Dreamers and try to push for a Clean Dream Act. I just wanted to introduce y'all to some of the Dreamers that were with us, and they wanted to share their stories with y'all.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ivan Berumen. I am undocumented. However, I've never let that be something to hold me back. Anything I've done in life, I always thought I could do it because my parents instilled that strength in me. Like other undocumented people, we come here, we come to work, we come here to provide a better standard of living for all our children and to continue La Raza. That's pretty much it.
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? This morning, so I'm a little nervous. My name's Alberto Garcia. Like you said, like Pepa said, I am a DACA recipient. I came to the United States when I was 6. I came with my mom, which is she's a single mother, and my little brother and my older sister. And we resided in Pleasant Grove, grew up in Pleasant Grove. You know how it is there. I mean, I grew up there. And then got my way through school, you know, kept good grades and everything, got myself into college. Got into college, and now college kind of like opened up my eyes and really gave me, I really feel like I can do something now. And so I'm studying real estate. And so what my plans are is to like go back to Pleasant Grove and go back to my community and like just make a difference in my community and just try to do something positive. And that's why I want to stay here. That's why I'm fighting for the Dream Act, is so I can stay here and and just make a difference in my community. And I don't want to go back to Mexico because, I mean, the only life that I know is just living here in the United States. So I hope I can get you guys to support us, and just thank you for everything. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Alondra, and I am also a DACA recipient. Right now, I'm a senior at Texas Women's University, and as a little girl, I always used to watch the news, and like in 2006, I was in, the big march was held here, and so I was a part of that. I was like chanting along my parents. And I was chanting along my parents, along my uncles that are also immigrants like I am. Thankfully, good things have happened and they're actually good now. But it was always a dream to go to DC, Washington, DC, and kind of like fight for my dream. And I actually got to experience that with Eva and Hector. And thanks to Mr. Domingo and Dr. Alda Garcia. I hope one day that I am able to speak like she is. I'm very fond of her, so thank you everybody, and I hope that, the Dream Act happens because it's everybody's dream,
Now you see how important it is to have young people like this represent us. They actually spoke to 435 congressmen and 1,000 senators. We had about 175 to 200 dreamers coming in for all parts of the United States. From Dallas, there were maybe about 40 or 50. Some of them, thank goodness, the first time when I called Domingo that we needed to underwrite, we thought about taking them in a bus that was going to take about 5 days to get there and come back. So they wanted to charge too much money. I said, hey, for that kind of money, $17,000, I think we can put them on a plane. We will take care of the housing and we will help in orientation. I also have to give thanks to all the people that participated in making this happen just a short 2 weeks ago. But believe you me, the DACA, legislation that they have now with the current president, that he has revoked it, it's going to come back. It's part of the negotiation. It's one of those things that's not going to go away. Not only what started with Domingo many years ago and Rick Noriega about the Dreamers, that concept. Can you imagine a country of immigrants denying them the right to stay here and be as productive as they are already academically and in our communities? That's not the way to go for America, I think. So we need to really, congratulate these young people to risk being arrested and even being deported by going and doing the work of adults. And that's what bothers me. Why should young people be doing the work of adults? So you guys better get off your fannies and call Congress and the president. We should not let children do the work of adults. These are our leaders now and our leaders in the future. And it's up to you to support them. Thank you very much, Dreamers.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Hilda, and I'm just so privileged that I was able to accompany these young people to speak and walk the halls of the Capitol Hill without shame, without embarrassment, with a lot of confidence. And I'll tell you what, the night before they went to speak, we had a Airbnb, and I was on the bottom floor. They were in the middle and on the third floor. And I could just hear a lot of racket going on. They were having fun. They were getting to meet each other. But after a couple hours, it got quiet. And I started to sneak up the stairs and say, what are they doing? Well, I find them crying and embracing themselves and talking about their personal life. This prepared them so that when they went to Capitol Hill to talk to the staffers and the senators and the Congress people, they were ready. And they did the work for 1.8 million people. They are the voices, not of tomorrow, but of today. We need to continue to support them. And we'd like to thank Dr. Elba Garcia and Domingo Garcia for putting the bill. They're always the leaders to be the first, to do what's right for the community. So I thank you. These young people are true leaders. They are true leaders, and they have no shame to talk about their story because they know it's going to impact the life of everybody and of the senators and the staffers that listen to them. Thank you very much.
Any questions or comments from anybody in the audience?
We just need to elect folks in Washington to support you like we do.
Chorizo Garcia, when he was representing the state of Texas in 104, was the first person who started the Dream Act, and I think he deserves a big round of applause in Texas.
And by the way, he might have been the first, but there are 19 states that have passed the Dream Act now. California was the second, and I was in New Mexico also. All right, any other questions? All right, thank y'all. Good luck with your careers. And by the way, yesterday, Trump tweeted that we are all dreamers, and he made that as part of the State of the Union address. But that's not really true. The American dream is really an American dream that's open to everybody. That's what the Statue of Liberty, and that's what's etched in the American icons of the past. And so that dream has to be kept alive for people like these, because that's really what makes America great. So make sure you do, when you finish today, send an email, make a phone call to your congressman and senator. In Texas, that's Senator Cruz and Senator Corden. Let them know you support contract and dreamers. All right, we've been joined by Carol Donovan, Dallas County Democratic Party chairwoman. All right, our next speaker is an attorney. She was born and raised in Dallas and is a native of Oak Cliff. She attended Dallas County Community College District and learned her Bachelor's of Arts degree in criminology and criminal justice from UTA. She then went on to law school and worked and graduated from law school. It was top of her class at Western Michigan University. While in law school, she held many leadership positions, including a clerkship with the Voting Section of the Civil Rights Division of the U.S. Department of Justice. She was elected as a 2011-2012 Congressional Hispanic Caucus Institute Law School graduate in Washington, D.C. She worked with the Obama campaign protecting voting rights in Nevada. And she has authored several papers, including New State Voting Laws Compared to the Latino Vote. And she is now a candidate for House District 104, State Representative Jessica Gonzalez.
So before I want to share with you a little bit about why I decided to run for House District 104. Can you hear me back there? No? Okay. So I'm an attorney. I've been practicing for about 7 years. I actually have my law office right down the street. And I'm committed to 104 because this is where my parents came when they first came from Mexico together. They stayed with family in Cockrell Hill. This is also where my parents purchased their first home, where I purchased my first home, where I went to elementary school, where I marched in my first Girl Scout parade, and we bought my quinceañera address down the street. So this is a district that is near and dear to me. I'm very invested in this district. And at the time, and as a daughter of parents, of hardworking parents who started a Mexican snack business when I was really young, I understand the importance of sacrifice, hard work, and opportunity. And so at the time that